everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alycia and I'm a pastry chef with a severe sweet tooth. So I'm here to show you how to make the best keto desserts possible. So if you enjoy these recipes, please consider hitting the subscribe button, giving the video a thumbs up, leaving me a comment, sharing with all your friends and family. It all helps my channel grow and to bring you new keto desserts almost every Saturday. It's that time of year again. If you have been a subscriber for a while, you know that every year around this time, it is my husband's birthday and I make him a special whatever he kind of wants for his birthday. Because I always like to make a video using his birthday treat because a couple people in his family are keto and also gluten-free. So I always kind of want to make one anyways, and making something new is always fun. So he happened to be watching a YouTube video that mentioned banana cake, and I looked up the macros real quick on bananas and it is pretty high, but if you use a half cup of smashed bananas, it's only 23 carbs, net carbs divided over 16 or 24 portions. So I thought that was doable, and someone had asked me about keto hummingbird cake, and I have pineapple extract. So we're gonna make a keto hummingbird cake. And if you make 24 cupcakes, it's only 2 net carbs each. So let's get started. Every hummingbird cake recipe I looked up had oil. So we're gonna start with 8 ounces of avocado oil. This is a spin off my apple spice cake. To that, we're adding a cup of Granular monk fruit erythritol blend, which is 192 grams. And a half cup of golden monk fruit erythritol blend. Should be 96 grams. I looked up several hummingbird cake recipes, and some of them had a little bit less than this, but we are not adding all the sweetness from the crushed pineapple and not even all the banana. So I upped the sweetness a little bit from their recipes. We're gonna whip this until it's a little bit more creamy looking. You want some of the sweetener to dissolve. Might need to lift the bowl. Let's try that again. You get 4 eggs and some warm water. Let those soak for a little while everything is getting whipped up and measured out. As you saw there, I have 4 ounces of sour cream, 4 ounces of banana. You can go a couple different ways with this. You can put in 4 ounces of crushed pineapple, and still your 24 cupcakes would only be 3 net carbs per cupcake. With just the half cup banana, it's 2 carbs per cupcake. But if you make it into an 8-inch round cake, which I did do, you can only really cut it into 16 servings. So if you only do the 4 ounces of banana and you do the round cake, it's 3 net carbs per slice. But if you add the pineapple in there instead of the sour cream, you're gonna end up having 4 net carbs per slice if you do 16 slices out of a cake. That's why a lot of times I do the cupcakes, because 1, portion control, you can freeze them, pull one out when you want it. Second, it looks like a whole portion compared to a 1/16 of a slice of cake. It's 1 portion. It's impossible to do 1/24 of an 8-inch round cake. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do with this recipe. The reason I did the sour cream was because we needed some other kind of liquid. You can also just do buttermilk if you want. There's a lot of different options as long as you have a cup of some wet ingredients. You can use whatever you want. Scrape down a couple times while this is whipping. We're gonna get our dry ingredients measured out. As you saw there, I mixed up all the dry ingredients. There's a couple different things you can do here. My recipe was almost exactly the same as Pioneer Woman that I just looked up. I looked up several different recipes though. The only difference is we have more egg, but pretty much everything is the same, and I upped the sweetness a little bit and obviously didn't put in the pineapple. But all the recipes had different quantities of pineapple to banana. The one that I usually go off of is Sally's Baking Addiction. All her recipes are always really highly rated, and she had half the amount of pineapple as banana. So you could even do just a 1/4 cup of pineapple instead of the whole half cup and put in 4 ounces of sour cream. You can do really whatever you want. And then there's also different spices people added. Some added just cinnamon, some added cinnamon and allspice. So if you have a favorite recipe that you used to use and it has certain spices in it, you can always put your own spin on the cake. A little bit lighter in color and a little bit less grainy looking. You don't get as much dissolving when you use oil. Do this for 2 reasons. 1, so it's not grainy, and 2, it cuts down on the cooling effect a little bit of the erythritol when you get it dissolved real good. To this mixture, we're gonna add a tablespoon of vanilla. Whip that up for a little bit longer, and then we're gonna add the eggs. The last ingredient we gotta weigh out is our chopped pecans. The last ingredient is pecans. It kind of annoys me. I paid extra to get chopped pecans, and apparently they're just getting lazy, or they don't have the equipment's not right or something, because I had whole pecans in here. I bought it because it's a pain to make when I need to make a bunch of pecan bars, because I need a lot of pecans and I didn't want to chop a bunch of whole ones all the time. So I bought the chopped ones, and they're like not even chopped. So you saw there, I just used a rolling pin to chop them a tiny bit more. You can use any nut you want for this. Pecans are less carbs than walnuts. That was my other choice I was going to use, but pecans are less, and that was the recipe I found had pecans in it. So that's what we're using. While that's whipping, also get your cupcake tins ready and lined. I'm going to do 18, and then I'm going to do 6 in my vendor cups, because I don't think we need all 24 cupcakes for, I think maybe we'll have 12 people at most. Okay, now we're gonna add 1 egg at a time. Stop and scrape down, add in banana, sour cream, dry ingredients, and pecans. Stop and scrape. I usually just take it off, make sure it's well combined, and add the pecans. By the way, I already have my oven preheated to 325. It's going to take you a little while to do the cupcakes, but I would turn it on now or a little bit before in the process. Oh, almost forgot. Tablespoon of pineapple extract. I have Olive Nation. Fortunately, a lot of the other ones have sugar in them, so it wouldn't be Hummingbird cake if it didn't have some kind of pineapple in it. Alternatively, just leave it like this, and it's banana cake. And put some extra banana in it, because if you're doing cupcakes, still, it'll only be 3 carbs per cupcake if you use a whole cup of bananas. Let's scoop some. This middle scoop, if you heap it, should be about 55 grams. Or not. But that's how much each one of your cupcakes can weigh. Yeah, you don't want that much in your cupcake. So I'm gonna do 55 for these because they're vending, but I'm gonna do way less for these guys. Just do a heaping one of these. So that means I'm gonna get like 30 cupcakes. 30 something cupcakes. I did the 8-inch round cake. The cake rounds were really thick after they were baked, and they baked quite a bit longer than my vanilla cake recipe. So I actually cut it into 2 layers. Almost every Hummingbird cake I found was either 2 or 3 layers, never 4. So the Pioneer woman pretty much did 2 layers, and they looked exactly the thickness of my cake. But I cut mine in half and made it a 4-layer cake, so it was nice and tall. And then I only put a little bit of cream cheese frosting in between each layer because the layers were a little bit thinner. And that was only 1 batch of cream cheese frosting. Pretty sure, I'm going to check the macros, but I'm pretty sure you can do 1.5 batches of cream cheese frosting for the cake and still come out with it being 3 carbs per slice. But I didn't have enough frosting to coat the outside. But there was this thing back a while ago that was a big trend, was naked cakes. So that's kind of what I was going for with the cake that I decorated, which I'll show you a picture again in case you're skipping through everything. But it tasted good. There was plenty of frosting for the cake. The only downside to that is the outside of the cake dries out a little bit if you don't cover it right away. And you can't cover it right away all the time because your frosting isn't hardened. I do encourage you, if you're going to do that and not make any extra frosting for the outside, that you, as soon as the frosting's set and hardened, you wrap the cake up if you're not going to serve it right away. Because it does get really like crispy, dryish around the edges. So I only did get 18 for big guys. So you'll get 24, no problem doing just 1 heaping scoop. Some of these are still a little more full than they should be. But that's why I like to weigh. But obviously if you're making just cupcakes at home, you're not going to weigh your batter out. Like I said, I did this in a 2 8-inch round, so I'm not sure how long these are going to take. I'm going to go by my other cupcake recipes and say 18 minutes, but we will check. Do 9 turn and see where we're at. They are no longer mushy in the middle. They are set. It's 18 minutes. Fortunately, these got to cool. But we're going to make the cream cheese icing real quick and then frost them. Always sift your powdered sweetener. I didn't want to get my phone covered, so I'm almost done. I'm not going to go super in depth on this cream cheese frosting. I'm going to link here the video where I explain kind of what I learned and stuff about this particular keto frosting, but it's very simple. There's just a few tricks. Super soft cream cheese, 8 ounces, 3/4 pound of super soft butter, 240 grams of powdered sweetener of choice. Bocha sweet is the least cooling. There's no cooling effect whatsoever on that. But this frosting is also to taste for sweetness. You don't have to use as much as I do. You just have to use a bulk of powdered sweetener in order to make it a frosting. If you aren't gonna weigh, I would measure after you sift. It's getting really hot in here, so everything is really soft. You know, beat this up for a while until it's nice and creamy and combined. A little bit of butter, see, it's not fully combined in there. I just checked. You can do 1.5 batches of this icing and use it for the cake or the cupcake. Cake will still be 3 net carbs per 16th, and the cupcakes will still be 2 net carbs per 1/24. I just add a little vanilla extract. You can add whatever extract you want. You can even add some cinnamon if you want. Whatever your heart desires. You want to reinforce the pineapple? You can. Comment down below if you have a brand of banana extract you recommend. Because I'm always scared to get them because I hate fake banana flavor. Technically, 240 is supposed to be 2 cups of powdered sweetener, according to the back of the package. I just want to whip this a tiny bit until it's fluffy, but you don't want to whip it for too long, not like the buttercream. I'm gonna say that's good. I gotta set up our cupcakes and we'll get to frosting. Okay, I put them in the fridge because they actually weren't done cooling even, and we made that frosting super fast. So I'm gonna show you another way to pipe. I don't know if I've done this in any video, but it's kind of if you want to write something on the cupcakes or, you know, have some kind of lettering on top, you can do a flat pipe. I'll show you how to do that. Here are my cupcakes. I have a bag with a big round tip. You can just use a bag with a hole cut in it, but it might get a little wonky because no bag is actually completely round because it has seams, but it will work also. Fold the bag over your hand, the best way to do it. It's really warm in here, so my frosting is really soft, so I'm going to try to work fast here. I'm going to put half in at a time because if it's really warm, your hands are really warm, it'll melt your frosting. You don't want melty cream cheese frosting. This will go from the outside in. It's a little bit less flat, it's more domed. I don't like the way this one looks, so I'm going to redo it. You just shake it off in the bowl without touching it too much. Here we go. I might do HAPPY 35th Adam. We'll see if I get to it today though. Time to try it. This one, the frosting was too high, the cake was too high for my lids for my vending shows. So I'm just gonna eat this one. I was gonna slice a piece of my cake, but I'll show you here what the slice looks like. My husband loved it, my father-in-law loved it. Time for me to try. I did try a bite of Adam's, but I'm not gonna get a good look really of it, but it is moist. It's still kind of warm. It's actually super good. I'm not a huge fan of pineapple, but I like everything else in here. And it's super moist. And you get crunchy from the pecans, and I love cream cheese frosting. So this is a delicious combo. It's super light and fluffy. Really moist cake. It's almost like a little bit gooey inside. It's so moist. Really shouldn't eat all this because I haven't had lunch yet. Only 2 grams of net carbs for a banana cream cheese frosting cupcake. Can't beat it. So good. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. If you've been craving a banana cake or banana bread. Side note, if you make my pumpkin bread, sub out the pumpkin puree for banana, or half banana, half sour cream, and it will work and you have banana bread. So, little extra tip there. But if you enjoy this recipe, let me know in the comments below. You can tag me on Instagram at Keto Upgrade Chef or Facebook at Keto Upgrade, and you can show me pictures of stuff that you baked. I would love to see the cakes or cupcakes you make for your friends and family that they enjoyed. So other than that, don't forget, check out my Amazon links and the blog link to the full recipe in the description box below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks for subscribing, and as always, I'll be back with more keto dessert recipes. Bye guys.